A cooperative business strategy means that two companies work together. Does that get the point across? Are we done? Is that enough? I guess it is a little more complicated than that. Firms have different resources and capabilities. You can see the video in the description for more on that. But no firm has every resource or every capability. When firms combine their resources and capabilities and work together, sometimes they can achieve goals or they can achieve more than either company would be able to do on their own. Let's talk about what that looks like in practice. Intel is a semiconductor company known for making computer processors. Micron is also a semiconductor company, and their specialty has always been computer memory. In the early 2000s, flash memory came on the scene, and other semiconductor companies like Samsung and Hynix jumped in and made a lot of money on that. But Intel and Micron had not. In order to enter the flash memory market, Intel and Micron pooled their resources and their capabilities to create IM Flash Technologies, an Intel-Micron venture. Micron already had a building in Lehi, Utah that they were able to bring to this venture, and that's where this new company was based. Intel and Micron successfully entered the flash memory industry, and there were mutual benefits, but they were able to share the risk and actually reduce the risk by working together. A joint venture is when two companies come together to create a new company with shared ownership. IM Flash Technologies was a joint venture. An equity strategic alliance means that two companies share ownership, but the ownership is not balanced, or one of them has more equity in that company than the other. It can be so similar to a joint venture that I think it's just kind of splitting hairs, but that's what it means. Bottom line, sometimes companies come together to create a new business to meet their shared objectives. But they can also work together without forming a new company. For many years, Disney licensed the right to make its princess toys to Mattel, the Barbie company. But then Barbie's sales started to fall, and Mattel turns its attention toward her and also created Ever After High, the teenage daughters of famous princesses. This new line of toys competed directly with the Disney princesses. As you can imagine, the Mouse House did not like this new strategic direction that Mattel was going, so they pulled the licensing contract from Mattel and started to work with Hasbro. Hasbro was already making Marvel and Star Wars action figures, so that was a fairly easy transition to work with them. Mattel lost a line of toys worth over $700 million a year. Side note, don't mess with Disney. Disney was able to provide value to this relationship because of the characters that it owns, that it could license. And the toy makers could bring their toy making and supply chain capabilities to this arrangement so that both companies could achieve their objectives of making and selling more toys without either company having to invest in the resources or the capabilities that the other one already had. Disney did not have a separate company like a joint venture to worry about with these toy makers. It simply had the licensing contract and the terms that it contained. Even without creating a separate company, firms can work together through a non-equity strategic alliance, a contractual relationship, to work together. Another example of a non-equity strategic alliance or a contractual relationship is franchising. McDonald's does not own equity in its franchisees' businesses, but contracts give it a lot of influence over them, and terms of the contract grant franchisees the right to use McDonald's trademarks, menus, and processes. The franchisees provide the capital cost for the new restaurants. They are also responsible for the day-to-day operations of each location that they own. This creates a mutually beneficial arrangement in which franchisees and the franchisor, McDonald's, pool their resources to work together. And one of my favorite examples of a cooperative relationship is when Boeing worked with BlackBerry to create a high-tech, self-destructing cell phone. Although BlackBerry had previously been a market leader in the cell phone industry, it lost that position when the iPhone took over. BlackBerry found a new strategic partner in Boeing. They created the Boeing Black, a phone that was geared toward the self-defense and security or government communities by having a phone that could destruct its own data to keep that data secure. BlackBerry brought cell phone creating capabilities to this relationship, and Boeing brought its defense contracting capabilities. You can't just go buy a Boeing Black cell phone. They're not available to the general public. But government officials have used this phone. What strategic alliances exist in your industry? Are they joint ventures? Contractual relationships? How do they work? How do these strategic alliances affect your company? Do others use these to gain an advantage over your company? Or does your company work in strategic alliances to gain an advantage over others? I hope you found this video to be informative and interesting. I wouldn't even mind if you liked it. Have a great day. Take care.